Hello there, this is Tamil, and today I wanted to redraw one of my old OCs, and I wanted to redraw them with the winter theme outfit. And there's a few reasons for that. Winter is coming, it's already November, it's my birthday coming. Right now I live in California, and there's no snow here in the area where I'm living, so I'm pretty sad about that, and I miss the snow, I miss the cold. Because that's when I would hang out with my friends and I would go out. Almost every show cartoons or anything that I watch, they have a special episode. A lot of times they also have special episodes for the winter. And for winter, my favorite show was, for example, Steven Universe. They have the cutest outfits of all time when they made those winter episodes when there's snow and they're wearing different poofy jackets and the beanies and everything. So I'll take that as an inspiration. That's my favorite thing in the world. And I'll take my OC, which is kind of weird and edgy looking, and I was really getting inspired from those Tumblr 2000s era. And the first thing that I usually do is create a mood board on Pinterest. Pretty easy and self-explanatory, even though I still want to make a tutorial for that. You can just go into your account, go to board and create, and once you have that, you can just type in winter clothing character, and once you click on that button, then it's gonna give you suggestions for cool outfit right here, cool outfit right there. They have ice on their clothing, which is cool. This one is kind of barbarian looking. This is more like a cutesy one. So basically, imagine if you're going shopping and you're going out in the wild and you have unlimited budget, and think of it that way, and that will help you to create the best outfit for your character. I look at this and I'm like, oh my god, this is the coolest jacket I've seen in my life. I really want to add that to my character. I like that how the socks or whatever this is called, it goes around the shoe. I definitely want to add that to my character, so I saved that image. And another thing that I noticed, girls will be wearing those poofy headphones that have just keep you warm. I've never seen a single girl wear it during my winter times when I was growing up, but it is out there, and this just gives me an idea of what can I add to my character, even though I never had that experience in real life. So that's why you create a mood board. I also wanted to look at my character, and I also think about what can I keep from my original character. So hair for sure. Also, my character has really thick boots that are absolutely gigantic, and that kind of works with winter outfits. So I'm I really want to find the thickest boots possible for my character. I can do that. And this time around, I decided to go a little bit more traditional. I decided to start with a little sketchbook, and I started with a pen. I know, very high-end art supplies right there. So I started doodling with this, and just to let you know, I want to make sure that you don't feel overwhelmed, you don't feel like you're behind. I have drawn this character for this video, or at least I tried to, 3 or 4 times. I really tried to make the character look nice, and I tried to put on clothing. It just didn't work out, and it looked ugly, and I just didn't like it at all. So you're aware, I didn't draw this on the first time, and it's okay if you feel overwhelmed, and it's okay if it's not looking that good. You can just restart, you can just take a break, you can obviously look up more references. For example, for the life of me, I just couldn't figure out where to put her hands, where are they in space, and that's definitely my lack of knowledge for anatomy. It's my lack of knowledge of perspective, and it took me 4 or 5 tries before I got where I got, and even right now, I'm still not satisfied with this result, and that's completely fine. That's okay to not be as good as you want to be for now. Obviously, you will get there, just as long as you keep trying. And so that's what I started with for this drawing. I started with a base. I tried to keep the anatomy simple, and a few tips that I can give is, one, a lot of blues and a lot of purples are super prominent when it comes to winter clothing. That's one thing. Another thing When it's super, super cold, your cheeks become so red. So if you have a character and you want to participate in this challenge, or you want to just kind of do this later someday, add blush to your character, and the skin, it will become more white, it will become more pale, it will be more blue because of the ambient light. So a lot of winter, there's no sun, and that is why everything will look more dim, not as saturated, and everything's gonna have this bluish tone. If you have a character, the skin will be like a little bit more pale, the cheeks are gonna be a little bit more red. I just did a quick sketch, and then I took a picture, and then I dropped it in Clip Studio Paint. First thing I do, open it, I flip it, and I look how weird and wonky the drawing looks like, and I'm like, no, this is not good, like I don't want this to look like this. And then I go into Liquify, and I'm really glad Clip Studio Paint added Liquify. I think it was a year ago or two. I made a video on that. But basically, Liquify is a super easy way to manipulate the image, push around the proportions without destroying your entire image. Once I'm done with that, usually what happens is I will make a duplicate of that specific layer, and I will put one more layer on top, and I'll put a color on it. So let's say like gray, and I do like 25 to 50% opacity. So in that way, whatever is behind, it's a little bit more dimmed and it's easier to draw on top. And so that's where my work begins, with lining and inking. And that's like the most important thing is first readability. Like, is it readable? If it's small, are you adding too many details? Like, if it's too busy, try to simplify it. And the second thing is that I try to pick like a really good inking size. So you don't want to go too small when it's gonna be the line is like way too thin, but you don't want to go too thick so that you can't even add anything if you want to. I know it like sounds weird, but with practice, you're definitely gonna get there where you will know what like look you're going for. And even for me, I was inking for like 40 minutes or so, and then I decided, oh, like I'm zooming out, like it doesn't look as good. Now, let me add a little bit more. So I started with a bigger brush afterwards, and then now it kind of like made sense. So don't zoom in too much. Try to keep your canvas like the same size as your screen, not worrying too much about details. And then my biggest advice for readability once you've done inking is try to outline the biggest shapes. So for example, the character itself, make an outline for that. If you have like, let's say, a dress or like boots, make sure you outline that as a separate object. Make sure to add heavy shadows if you're going for like the similar style. Like whatever object is touching with something else, let's say a jacket or a hat, then add like a heavy shadow just below it. So if it's a beanie, right on the face, there'll be like a little bit of a thicker shadow, and that kind of creates more depth. It will look nicer and it feels more solid. After I'm done with inking, a lot of times I just fill it in with whatever color, and I do like very basic color ideas, and I just throw it in there. And when I'm getting close to my finishing touches, pretty much that's it. I just finish up some color corrections. I change the tones. I see if I'm needing like more contrast, and that's it. I just do a little bit of cleanup. I do a little bit of work here and there. If you're struggling to draw certain parts of the clothing, just grab for example, a picture of whatever it might be, let's say shoes or a jacket, and just draw that like separately. Just find 5 jacket pictures, and then just draw 5 jackets like in the specific style that you're going for, just to get some practice, practice some material reading or whatever it might be. Don't feel like you have to get everything right from the first time. You kind of don't, and that's kind of the point of art too. And just as a side note, there will be a written tutorial for this in the description. It's gonna have all the step-by-step. So basically, if you want to check that out, you're more than welcome. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I really enjoyed drawing this. Thank you for your support. If you like this video, it would help me a lot. If you comment, it would help me even more. If you share, I will literally come to your place and buy you ice cream. So thank you so much again, and happy winter.